Welcome to episode 83 of the Epilogue Lady podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook and Etsy as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. There's also an Ravelry group for the podcast, and just about now we're finishing off the Arctic Summer of Socks. So if you have a pair of socks finished, go ahead and enter, because I'm about to draw prizes in a few days. And I also have a Ko-fi page where you can support me and the podcast. It's a sunny day again, so this time I actually did the work and set up at the back of the living room. There's a hot mess behind me. You'll just have to excuse me. I couldn't be bothered today because it's hot. I just had to turn the air conditioning down to the lowest setting because I didn't want the noise in the background. You can probably still hear it, but I'll try to edit it out. I wanted to wear something knitted today, and I wish I didn't because it's really hot in here, but I'll persevere. They say that today is probably the last day of summer here, because the weather is about to change and it's going to get colder and overcast and maybe some rain. September normally is a really nice month here when it comes to weather, but the temperatures won't go over about 14-15 degrees, but I don't care. I prefer 15 to 25, to put it like that. So I hope you had a nice couple of weeks since we spoke last. I've had some issues with exhaustion, but as I understand, you can get a bit of fatigue after you had COVID. Even though you don't get really sick while you're having COVID, you can get what they call long COVID. And I've done a lot of dyeing, and I've been exhausted most days afterwards. I'm going for a big update on Sunday because my good friend Trine arrives late on Tuesday or early on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. I'm not sure if that's, to me that's late Tuesday. To other people it might be early on Wednesday. Anyway, I won't be dyeing yarn the 2 last days before she gets here because she's allergic to cats and to wool. So the spare bedroom, or Arctic Crafts storage space, has to be, as I told her, decatified and dewoolified. I just made up 2 new words. I have to vacuum that room from roof to ceiling, basically, and remove all the yarn in there. Has to be put in sealed bags. And so I need a couple of days, but it's worth it because I haven't seen Trine in years. And she's been here before, and the cats, as long as they don't rub themselves on her face, she's okay. But the problem is the cats enjoy sleeping in the spare bedroom. So there's probably quite a few cat hairs in there. So that's a job for me. Monday and Tuesday, I'll spend all my time in the spare bedroom getting it ready for Trine. And she's arriving on the Coastal Express, and it takes 2 days from where she lives. She steps on board on the 29th, and she arrives here at the 31st, but real early on the 31st, so maybe not 2 days. She has to sleep on the ship 1 night. So, still drinking coffee. I had to get creative when I made coffee this morning because it turned out we were out of whole beans and I had to use some espresso coffee in a French press. So it's kind of strong, but I'll survive. And the first thing we're going to do is announce the winner of the last episode's giveaway, my Soldotna crop. And the winner is Soxy Nana Alice. And I've already notified her on Instagram. And as soon as I get her address, I'll be sending it out to her. And congratulations, Soxy Nana Alice. I had quite the struggle getting the drawing done because my computer decided that the YouTube comment picker website was a threat. So my virus software kept shutting it down. So I just had to count the entries, all the comments, and use random number generator. But it worked. So when that's done, we'll start talking about what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my stripy rocket tee, or all rocket tees are stripy, but this is knit in fine merino fingering, nebula, and Poledale sock, purple rain. And I really love this, even though it's really hot. So knitted t-shirts, this is kind of the season for knitted t-shirts for me, because it's starting to get cool enough to wear knitted t-shirts. So I'm wearing it now, but I promise you I'm going to get rid of this t-shirt as soon as I finish recording. And I'm going to crank up the AC. So that's what I'm wearing. And I have one FO, but it is a sweater. I finished my Lace and Fade Boxy by Joji. And I've worn it a couple of times already because I really love this. And as you can tell, alternating skeins is a thing. I was thinking, oh, it's stripy, so I don't have to alternate skeins. But I was really unlucky, and top of the shoulders is darker than the sleeves. So you should alternate even though you're knitting something stripy, apparently. I don't care. I think this sweater is really beautiful, and it's the season for it. I like this much more than the other Boxy I knit. I think it's because it looks more feminine with the lace. And it falls much nicer because it's not as compact as the other one I knit. This is my third Boxy. I knit a V-neck Boxy in my own yarn. And I knit a normal Boxy in Hedgehog Fibers. And now I've knit the Lace and Fady. And this is Lace and Fady. This is going to come with me when I'm out selling yarn because it's a really nice sample. And I was worried about running out of yarn, but it appears I didn't have to worry about that because I had 2 skeins left, one of each color. I only had tiny nuggets of when I finished the sweater. So I have 2 whole skeins left. And I'm thinking, either should I sell this as a kit for a hat, for example, or should I knit myself an everyday slouchy beanie? Or maybe somebody has a suggestion, a cowl. Is there any nice cowls on Ravelry that they're supposed to knit with fingering and lace mohair or suri silk together, because I think these two would look really good together. So I haven't decided yet if I'm to put this into the shop as a kit or if I'm going to use it myself. We'll see what I come up with, but I think an everyday slouchy beanie in those colors would be really my style. But I knit a lot of hats. I have so many hats. I knit. The last hat I knit was the muscle bra in yarn from Nikki's Knit. So I'm not sure I need another hat. Decisions. But anyway. So that's my only FO. And all my whips are socks. Sorry. 2 of my whips are socks. I actually cast on a shawl. I think I cast on that shawl yesterday. Yesterday or Saturday. Wednesday. Today is a Friday. We'll start with a hoe, because I haven't cast on the second sock yet. This is the, checking, they're called the Striped Sporty Shorties, and they're by Forest City Knits. And these are perfect for when you have leftovers. And I'm knitting this in some leftovers I've had for ages. This is, I think it's called Pickle or Pickle Jar. It's from Dial Monkey Yarns. And the speckled is left over from a sweater, and it's Fiber Lily, and I can't remember the colorway. And I had about 30 or 40 grams of each color, and I've finished the first sock. I finished this last night. And both this sock and especially the sweater, somebody commented on Instagram that I knit that sweater scary fast. But as I keep saying, if I sit, I knit. And that's true for it. When I have something, and that was a project knit. I wanted it done because I wanted to wear it. So that's why it went. And anything stripy. If I'm counting the rows, and I know I have to have 10 rows of one before I start another lace, pattern, it goes much faster because I keep thinking one more row. Same with these socks, the striping. So I'm going to cast on the second sock. So I have a pair of shorties. So that's one whip. This is another whip where I have finished the first sock. These are the Freddy Beach socks by Nancy Wheeler. And this is how far I got on the second sock. And the yarn for this is Alison Barnes in the colorway Hush. And that's my second whip. And the last whip is in this bag that I bought in Tromsø. It's from Sandnes Garn. It's a really big bag, so I'm not sure why I have a shawl in here. But this is my shawl whip. I'm not sure how you would pronounce the name of this pattern, but I'm calling it Bojagi. I think it's a Korean word, so your guess is as good as mine. It's by Knitboop Designs, and this is the perfect shawl for stash busting because you need 2 skeins of yarn, and this is deep stash, and that's the only reason why I cast on this shawl. I wanted to get rid of some stash. And if I'm going to use this, or if I'm going to gift it, or maybe sell it, I'm not sure. And the yarn I'm using for that is Norah George in the colorway Tequila Sunrise. This is her BFL sock. And this is an Australian yarn that I won in a make-along. What Shara made, the name of the podcast. And this is Balter.Knit.Wear from Australia. And it's also deep stash. I've been putting off using it because it's Australian, it's precious. But as I say, I have quite a lot of yarn in stash, and I keep casting on self-striping socks. I have to use the rest of my stash for something as well. So, but orange is a color that I really like using, especially in fall. So I might use that shawl. And it's not a sample knit or anything, it's just a stash knit to get rid of some yarn. But it is a fun knit because there's different patterns. You have lace, you have mosaic, and then you have garter. So I'm on the second mosaic now, and when that's done, it's only garter, and then I'm finished. So that's my whips. So I don't have any more knitting to show you because I've been knitting on the lace and fade. I'm not sure why I want to call it the Lacy and Fady, but lace and fade boxy. So the socks are kind of in between knitting. When I'm dyeing yarn, it's good to have something you can just knit a couple of rounds and then drop. But I could do that with a lace and fade because it's a boxy, the rounds are really long, so it's around and around. The lace pattern is kind of more tricky to be knitting on when I'm dyeing yarn because I have to pay more attention, but it's a good work knitting. And because I dye yarn in my kitchen, I can put a podcast on if I'm pausing when I have to go turn the yarn, speckle the yarn, put another color in. So it works. Of course, it leads to the house being a mess a lot of the time because I have my dyeing gear all over the place. But hubby is a very patient man. So that's what I had for knitting. When it comes to life stuff, I already told you the most exciting thing that's happened or is happening, that my good friend is coming here. And it's a nice time of the year to get visitors as well because we're getting back into the normal rhythm, and getting some visitors sort of feels like a really great start for the new season. And I have some, when it comes to shop news, I have dyed this year's Halloween color, both sock sets for the Halloween kits and full skeins. And where I'm not sure when I get the bags because Sue Crafting Knitted 7 or the Tangled Skein CA is the one cooperating with me this fall, and she's shipped the bags off, but it's up to the Canadian and the Norwegian postal service to get it to me. And we have mixed experiences with both of those, so this should be interesting. Anyways, the yarn is dyed and the bags are on their way, and as soon as I have the bags, I'll put the kits up in the shop. The postal service insists that I'm going to get them on September 9th. I'm not so sure, but I have September 15th as sort of a deadline. I can't do anything about it, of course, if the bags aren't here by the 15th. And I would really much, I would have preferred to have them in the shop by September 1st. But September 15th, it has to be the September the 15th. So I'm not showing you the Halloween yarn yet. I'm going to hold that as a secret, as a surprise for when the kits are ready to go up in the shop. And next week, I have to wait until after Trine gets here. I'm dyeing up the lock, shock and barrel self-striping. I'm repeating that this year because that was a really popular colorway last year. So I'm doing lock, shock and barrel. And I'm dyeing up more of the Halloween colorway. I'm dyeing up some more self-striping as well because I have only one skein left of Fall Symphony self-striping in the shop. So I have to dye up more of that. And I have a lot of fall colors going into the shop on Sunday. And depending on how it sells, I'll know what I have to dye up more of. Because I only dye up 2 or 3 skeins of each colorway at a time. But again, if you need the sweater quantity of any of these colors, please contact me because I dye up custom orders, no problem. Most of my colorways I can reproduce as sweater quantities. So then we're over into show and tell. I haven't gotten anything exciting in the mail. I've gotten August's Mythical Roll Club, but I can't show you that. So we'll start with the fall colors going into the shop on Sunday, 8 p.m. Central European summertime. It's still summertime. So I have Plum Jam on Corriedale, Hygge also on Corriedale. I have Autumn Leaves on Polldale. I have Fall Symphony on Gold Sport. Gold Sport is back in the shop for a trial run. It's an 80-20 merino nylon, 300 meters to 100 grams. And I have something I've called Impressionist Watercolor Harvest Edition. And that's on merino. I sort of know what I did here, in case anybody wants a sweater quantity. I just wanted to play around with the colors I use for Harvest Moon. And this is Lichen on merino. And I have October Skies. This was a Halloween color. 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago. And it was part of a kit. And I have that on Polldale and merino. So that's October Skies. I know it's only August, but I'm putting it up anyway. So that's October Skies. And then I have another yarn that I have back in the shop as a trial run, and it's Sparkle. Silver Sparkle Sock. And this is Samhain. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's Samhain on Silver Sparkle Sock. And those are the fall colorways. And then I have a Halloween colorway, Poison Apple, and this is a intense green color. Nothing like this. I'm not sure why green is such a problem for the camera to pick up. And I have a Let Me Fly on Corriedale. And I have Kiwi Explosion on Gold Sport. And it's a kiwi green with splotches of lots of different colors. And then I have 2 more on sparkle. I have Glacial Lake on silver sparkle sock. It's difficult to see the sparkles. And I have Headless Flamingo on silver sparkle sock. And I have Oil Slick on Polldale. Bente's Bag of Holding on Polldale. And something weird happened with this batch of Bente's Bag of Holding. As you can tell, it's gone peachy on me. It's supposed to be pink, but it turned peachy. So I'm not sure if the acidity in the water had something to do with it, or if I normally use citric acid and I used vinegar this time. Not sure what happened. But this batch of Bente's Bag of Holding is peachy pink. Anyways, Bente's Bag of Holding on Polldale. And then I have a new colorway that I dyed up on 2 different bases. On Polldale and on Merino. And I'm calling this Purple Haze. And why it's looking blue on camera, I can't tell you, because it's purple. But Purple Haze on Polldale and Merino. And then I have one more thing to show you. I've dyed up a sock blank. I have sock blanks in my undyed stash, but they're messy to dye, and I have to secure the stitches at the ends before I dye them, and that's a chore. So that's why I haven't dyed sock blanks in a while. But now I've dyed a sock blank, and it's in Glacial Lake, and I love the way this turned out. And it's a double sock blank, so you when you unravel it, you make 2 balls, or you knit the socks, 1 sock from each, because the yarn is double, so you get 2 more or less identical socks when you knit with these. So that's a sock blank, and that's 75-25 merino, 425 meters for 100 grams. So you end up with 2 50-gram balls with this. So that's the shop update on Sunday. As I said, I also dyed up some Halloween yarn, but this year's Halloween colorway is staying a secret until I can put the Halloween kits up in the shop. And because the yarn is dyed, I might probably just put the Halloween kits up in the shop when I get them. So keep your eye on Instagram, or if you have my shop as one of your favorite shops on Etsy, you get notified when I put something new into the shop. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will also get notified. There's only 5 kits, so if you really want one, you should pay attention and get ready for when they arrive. So I'm going to when I pick up the bags from the post office, I'm going to post on Instagram and let you know that tonight. I'm going to do it at 8 p.m. Central European summertime anyways. But I don't know when, because I need to have the bags first, and I'm not sure when they arrive. Another thing I need to start doing is I need to get ready to start packing the 12 Days of Christmas advents and get them out by the end of September, because to be absolutely sure, I think 8 weeks. If it takes longer than 8 weeks, something's wrong. So 8 weeks, so end of September, I need to have those out of the house. I might ask Trine to help me pack them, because there's the extras. There's one extra every day. different kinds of extras. So it takes some time getting them ready to ship. So that's something I have to do in September. There's going to be a Bente's bag of holding on September 1st to announce the winners of the Arctic Summer of Socks, and also to talk a bit about the make-along starting September 1st, because the Spooky Mal is back, and the rules are the same as last year: anything spooky. It's as easy as that. Anything spooky. Colorway name, pattern name, Halloween decorations, and if you use my yarn, extra entry. So the rules are really simple. It doesn't have to be, it could be any craft as normal. It's a make along, so it could be any craft. It could be cross stitch. It could be if you felt a pumpkin. Anything, as long as it's spooky. And it doesn't have to it doesn't have to be Halloween related. Last year I also said harvest. So if you, for example, knit something with my Harvest Moon colorway, you get 2 entries. One for the name of the colorway and one because it's my yarn. So harvest, Samhain, doesn't have to be Halloween, but harvest or Halloween related. So that's starting on September 1st, and I've already spoken to Trina and prepared her for me recording a Bente's bag of holding on September 1st, because I'm going to draw the winners at midnight, August 31st, and then announce the winners in Bente's bag of holding September 1st. I think I've said that 3 times now, so you should probably know. And I'm not sure I have anything else to tell you, because we haven't had anything particular happen. Hubby's back to work, I am back to work, and I could probably tell you that I'm running a sale at the moment in my Etsy shop. It's an end of season sale. There's 15% of some discontinued colorways and some summer and spring colorways. So that's running until September 15th or until the yarn runs out. Whatever. And if I haven't sold everything September 15th, I might just take it out of the shop and put it back next spring, or maybe extend the sale. We'll see, but September 15th is the end date of that sale. And the section in my shop is on sale. So that's what's happening in the shop right now. And then there's the shop update on Sunday. I've already taken all the pictures, and now that I've shown the yarn to you, I can put the yarn tags on and just put them in my shop storage. So that's the end of this podcast. Because I haven't got a lot of knitting, this is going to be a short one. And I hope you have a nice couple of weeks until I talk to you again. And if you have entered the Arctic Summer of Socks, you'll get notified if you won. And I'll announce the winners on here September 1st. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.